All right, guys. So I'm gonna address this one last time. All right, one last time. This is it. Right, and that's my word to my subscribers. That's my word because I just want to get back to talking boxing. That's honestly something I want to do. Right, but I'm gonna address this. All right. So Asik just did a video. I went through the chat. Right. I asked him some questions. He was a little bit all over the place, right? Which is understandable because I'm typing and he's talking, and when he finally gets to a comment, and I was addressing in real time something he said, and he forgot what I was answering, right? And then it just it spiraled and it spiraled, and then alleged librarian came on, and I just ignored him. And then some other people came on, but nonetheless, a couple of things that I'm just going to address really quick, right? Look, Aztec, my channel is so terrible. Now, I've never talked about Pokemon. I don't know where you're getting that from, right? It might be a slight because I did, I think, one or maybe two videos about Dragon Ball Z, right? I mean, that's about it. I mean, big deal, right? And because I've done videos about wrestling, like it's one of those things that you attack Aztec because you're so real, you're a real man. You don't watch that shit, right? Well, a lot of people don't, right? But it doesn't matter. Like, I noticed that towards the end there, you were getting so frustrated that you resorted to ad hominems, and that's what you're good at. You start attacking my channel. Nobody engages in my chat. I'll compare my comment section to yours any day, but what for? Like that's irrelevant. If you do not like my channel, dude, then don't watch it. You addressed me. You did a video saying questions for DStyle. I don't know if you've noticed, I completely went on ignore mode with you. I did not. I wanted nothing to do with you. I moved on. And then again, you were lurking in the shadows, and then you popped up again, right? And the whole time you're making it seem as if I'm the one coming after you, and like, that's not even it. You brought it up. You did that, Aztec. You brought it up. All right? Now, there's no need to go in circles about shit, but let me just quickly address some of the things that you just couldn't get through your thick skull. All right? Just really quick, because apparently reading it wasn't enough. First of all, a couple of things. Okay? You said something very, very dumb. All right? And when you say very, very dumb things, it's not a good look, Aztec. You don't know anything about me. You don't know what I know, right? But I will say this. I made the comment. You were talking about that it really started, this whole me versus you thing really started when you did a video whining, like you always do, right? You did a whiny video about how nobody wants to support the Mexican fighters, right? That's what you did. And you said in that video that never will this country accept a Mexican American fighter ever. That's what you said. That was a goalpost. I did a response video and I said, that's not true. There has been a Mexican American fighter, right, that was the face of boxing in the world, not just the U.S., in the world, in Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was the first major pay-per-view attraction that was not a heavyweight. It's asinine to say that he was not the face of boxing. That's asinine. That's the only thing I said. I didn't go any deeper into it. And then you kept, like you always do, you move the goalpost. Okay? Oh, no, but that's just one, you said. Now, that's not what you said before. Before you said that wasn't true. You were arguing with me and now you're conceding that it's true. But not, you start to put words in my mouth, because that's another thing you do. All right? And you do this straw man where you say, oh, so DStyle is, he's satisfied. One Mexican fighter, and that's it. We're good for life. That's not even what I said. That was never my point. Right? That's you saying that that's my point, but that's not what my point is. And as I was typing, addressing things you're saying, you were accusing me of changing the subject. No, I was addressing things that you were saying. Right? So I said the following. I say that for a fighter to be the face of anything, right, they need the support of white America. Why? Because white America is the majority in the country. Right? So you should be addressing white America and asking them, right, why they're not pouring out the support, right? And I asked you, well, what's your solution then? And you said you don't know what the solution is. So you don't even want to talk about that. You just want to whine. Like that's all that is. You want to come on and you want to whine. You want to whine that according to you, the black fighters get all the attention and Mexican American fighters get no attention. And that's what it is, dude. All right? Because you bring up Spence and then you said, oh, you even insinuated that De La Hoya can be compared to even Roy Jones. Yeah, Roy Jones was a big name, but he was never the face of boxing. And I make the point, like you brought up names like Errol Spence. Errol Spence is not even close to being the face of boxing. What you do? You moved the goalpost again. Now it's not about I don't mean the face of boxing. I mean just a fighter that gets support in the U.S. Right? And then you went on this tangent. Can two Mexican fighters fight in Detroit or in Virginia or you gave me all these names, and I even threw it out there. I said, well, Aztec, Bradley and Alexander did like, I don't know, what was it, like a couple hundred people in Detroit. Boxing in general doesn't fucking pack arenas nowadays. Okay? We don't even have to get to Mexican Americans. Crawford sells out in his home state. These guys sell out in their home states. Wilder, if it's not in New York or Alabama, can't really sell right now in an arena. Mexican fighters, same thing. Why do they sell? Because they're from Southern California or from Texas or Arizona. I actually personally know some of the managers and advisors of a lot of these Mexican American fighters. I'm not against Mexican American fighters getting attention. That is an assumption that you just threw out there because that's what you do. All right? You just want to be right. Like, you don't want to get to the bottom of what somebody is intending to say. You just want to be right about something. That's it. Like, you just want to come on here. You just want to argue. That's why I think your last name is Contreras. Right? In fact, that's what I'm going to call you. I don't want to call you Aztec anymore. Los Aztecas no eran llorones. Right? The Aztecs weren't a bunch of crybabies. I can tell you that right now. I mean, let's really look at this. And you want to talk about me? Oh, no, nobody supports your channel. Dude, I mean, you were on there for like 2 hours, bro. I was the only one in the fucking chat for practically for the majority of the time. You should have thanked me for helping you out, okay? I do a live Q&A where I get a lot of questions, and I actually post the chat. So there's that. But it doesn't matter if my channel ain't shit, then don't watch. Don't watch the channel then. Then don't watch it. What else should we address? Because we addressed that. The dumb thing you said, okay? I said that I was making the point that De La Hoya was the face of boxing because the dude was, doing very well on pay-per-view, all right? Now, I don't know if you know how pay-per-view works, Aztec. So sit down and listen. For once in your life, just listen. right? You want to talk about me, interrupting deep conversations and saying something stupid. Like, what are you talking about? It's the dumbest shit. That was at the end of your video. That was stupid, all right? And I know I was getting to you because even, again, you did it again. I'm going to end this. And then you ended the video. Like, God damn, bro. Okay, anyway, look. Contreras. Look, man. Contreras 101, all right? The pay-per-view thing. This is what I said. I said, in order to sell over 1 million pay-per-views, you need support from white people in this country. That's what I said. I said there's never been a pay-per-view fight that did over 1 million with just the Mexican fans, right? And then you scoffed and you said that that's a stupid thing to say. That's what you said, right? Oh, that's so stupid, DStyle. By the way, guys, I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'll be there in a little bit, all right? Oh, that's the stupidest thing you could have said, DStyle. Oh, Selena with just Chicano sold over 1 million or whatever you said, right? That's dumb, bro. That's stupid. That's stupid. By your logic, then 300 million buys should be like, because you said, this is what he said. He said, there's 30 million of us. How can we not do 1 million? In that voice, too. How can we not do 1 million? You're crazy, DStyle. We could do 1 million, DStyle. DStyles. We could do over 1 million, DStyles. Come on, DStyles. That's stupid, DStyles. That's what you did. All right? That little laugh of yours. Yeah, DStyles. That's what you did. Mocking me, saying I'm stupid. Listen to what you say. You said there's 30 million Mexicans, so totally, with just Mexicans buying, they could do over 1 million. You do realize that we're a nation of 300 million people, and the record is 4.6 million. You do realize that, right? Look at that ratio. By your logic, if you get white American support, you should be selling in the 30 millions, by your logic. Right? I mean, this is crazy. They actually look at, all right, like for example, when there's a fight that gets a lot of Mexican American support, which El Paso is one of those cities, along with San Antonio, all right, Los Angeles. When they get a lot of support, they can actually tally how many of the buys came from there, right? And there's this thing called house parties that people go to, and there's like 30, 40 people there. And then not everybody buys it. Some people go to the bar. This idea that you could do 1 million buys with just Mexicans is asinine, all right? And you obviously don't know what you're talking about. Now, you could have just listened to me. You could have just asked, oh, what do you mean by that, DStyle? Can you break that down for me? I don't understand. You could have just admitted that. But no, you prefer to instead call me stupid, but in the process make yourself look stupid. That's called projection. By the way, that's you lost it with that one, huh? You have to log out. Anyway, look. So that's that, right? And you went on for too long for that, right? For too long you went on with that. Here's my position with that, just since like I think you completely misunderstood. Your original video was about that there will never, ever be a face of boxing. And to me, the face of boxing has literally been Mayweather, arguably Pacquiao, okay, De La Hoya, Tyson, all right? You had Sugar Ray Leonard for a while, okay? There's been very few, in my opinion, quote-unquote, faces of boxing, all right? So maybe that should have been clarified. But you said that there will never be a face of American boxing that's going to be a Mexican American. This country will never accept that. And I proved that wrong with just the basic fact that De La Hoya was. And then you moved the goalpost. You made it about, oh, so you're content with that, blah, 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 blah. Now, never mind the Mexican Americans that have actually fought in the Olympics. Never mind that, right? But basically what you're arguing is that Mexican Americans don't get support by quote unquote Americans in this country, right? And this is what I was saying. Well, that's not completely true. That's number one. And one of these days, I'll do a video about Mexican American fighters. You know, it won't be like I'm not going to be mentioning you and that shit, but I'll do a video about that in the future, right? That'll be for my subscribers, right? I'll talk about, because I've actually done videos about Mexican American versus Mexican national feuds and stuff like that, right? There's no way you can lecture everybody else, white America and black America, about Mexican American fighters not getting support when Mexican American fans, not all of them, but a good amount of them, right, don't support the Mexican American fighters. They support the fighters out of Mexico, the Mexican nationalists. They'll support them, but they'll boo. Okay, Houston, Texas will boo Juan Diaz in Houston, Texas, in his hometown, a bunch of Chicanos, but they'll cheer Juan Manuel Marquez. Now, one may say, so what? It's just a boxing fight. I get it, but I'm just making a point. Juan Manuel Marquez, in the promo of that fight, said, well, Juan Diaz is just half Mexican. I'm 100% Mexican. And he was greeted, and they showed that in the crowd and everything. De La Hoya, right? Oscar De La Hoya, it was half and half. Mexican Americans, many of them, especially the men, did not like Oscar De La Hoya, right? They didn't like him. It could have been because he beat up Chavez Sr. It could be because he represented the United States and the way he carried himself, okay? There's many reasons. But one of the reasons, Oscar De La Hoya himself recognizes it, right? He was being called a pocho and shit by his own people. I mean, he even felt compelled to get a citizenship in Mexico, right? To try and prove himself. He was more popular in Mexico than he was amongst Mexican Americans. Till this day, right? Now, it's obviously escalated ever since the whole, when he got caught with the stockings and doing all that crazy shit, right? And drag and all that. Obviously, it is what it is, but Oscar De La Hoya was not this beloved figure. He wasn't solely carried by Mexican Americans. That's not true, okay? That's your own personal revisionist history that everybody else knows isn't true, right? That's just the truth. Oscar De La Hoya was everywhere. Everywhere. Sports Illustrated, okay? He was on ESPN. His fights were heavily covered all the time, the way they cover fucking major football games. And for the numbers that he got, when you looked at the demographics, especially in those times, and pay-per-view availability, which was not very high amongst Hispanics at that time, which is something I know about, right? When you look at the numbers point towards white America support, which there's nothing wrong with that. My point is, if you want to become a darling, if you want to become the face of anything, then you need the majority of the country. All right? That's the truth. Now, what's the other issue? All right? You got promoters like Bob Arum, right, that solely promote Mexican American fighters to the Mexican crowd. That's just the truth. They only put them on Solo Boxeo, where it's in Spanish, right? Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that has a lot to do with the disconnect and why people assume that a Mexican American fighter is a Mexican. and not American, right? But I don't know many people that are confusing Mikey Garcia as a guy from Guadalajara, okay? I think everybody kind of knows the dude's from Oxnard, California. I think people understand that, right? Now, with that said, I don't want to go over everything that there's perhaps, issues with, regarding, the perception of Mexican fighters, okay? I mean, I say tomato, you say tomato, bro. Oh, there's people that say that Mexicans are flat-footed and get hit a lot. And is that something I agree with? Absolutely not. I think that's stereotypical, right? So we could agree with that, but let's not pretend that there's not a segment of people that call black fighters a bunch of runners and cowards. Like, let's not pretend like that's not a thing, dude. All right? Let's not gloss over that. Moving on. It took me a while in that whole thing to finally get you to move on, okay, to get to the point of everything, all right? And you got very upset at the end there. Your voice was trembling. You were going, and you were getting angry and all that shit. Like, God damn, bro, right? I mean, holy shit. There's no need to get so mad. And you're telling me, oh, D-Style, you must be one of those people that gets told to shut up a lot, huh? Like, really, bro? I'm actually a very social person, actually, right? But that's not here nor there. Like, even if I wasn't, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And again, we go back to moving the goalpost. You did not at all address the direct questions I was asking you. Not once. Now, I appreciate you apologizing and admitting how wrong you were or at least your comment section, right? And making any type of insinuation that I'm a sellout or anything like that. So I'm glad you publicly apologized for that. That's good. Okay? Good for you. All right? But at this point, it honestly doesn't matter, bro. It honestly doesn't matter. We're never going to get to a point where me and you are going to be doing dialogue and shit. It's just not going to happen. For whatever reason, I can do dialogue with plenty of people. Okay? Plenty of people. But I just can't quite do the dialogue with you. I just can't quite do that. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Maybe you got to look at yourself in the mirror. I don't know. So here's the heart of the matter, right? And here's why I was blatantly disrespecting you in the chat. Because you were disrespecting me. That's why, right? I mean, you even got a little confident there when Librarian showed up in the chat, too. I kind of noticed that. But even then, I just ignored Librarian. I kept going at you. And I could just tell in the tone of your voice and everything. It was changing, right? I could just tell. Have you forgotten that at the end of the day, all this, the whole point of all this is just to talk about a sport that we're all supposed to love, right? We're just talking boxing at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, that's what all this is about. We're talking boxing, right? Think about that. And you want to come out and you basically said, oh, you let people disrespect Mexicans, you let this, you let that. And I even told you, I said, Aztec, name me one channel that I associate with personally that is racist. That's what I said. You're making this accusation, right? You couldn't name one, bro. First you said DCB, and then I said, what did DCB, mainly Jeff, that's really the only one I talked to of those two, right? And I said, what did he say that was racist? I asked you. And then you said, well, he's not a racist, but he's kind of affiliated with people that are racist. Oh, okay, so not him, right? And I asked you again, so who? And you say, oh, you know, you just vaguely said, you know, you see what I see. That's what you said. But that wasn't my question. My question was, because you yourself said, you said two things. I proved you wrong, and then you moved the goalpost, right? The first thing you said was, and it's not that I'm lying. People will go listen to this. The first thing I asked was, well, the first thing you said, I'm sorry, was, oh, just wait, these styles. Just wait, these styles. Wait. As soon as you start criticizing the black fighter, oh, they're going to turn on you. And I said, what? I criticized Adrian Broner. I criticized Mayweather. I criticized plenty of black fighters, actually. I mean, what? Doesn't AJ qualify as black? I mean, I think he does, right? I've criticized many black fighters. Like hard, too. With no mercy. And then you said, oh, no, but it's not. No, it's not that. Again, you switched it. And then you said, but that was the first thing you said. All right? Let me pull up the chat real quick, by the way. So you moved the goalpost on that because I proved you wrong. And then you said that I don't criticize, any of quote unquote them, or you don't criticize anyone, okay, that will say something about Mexicans, right? That's what you said. And then I gave you names of channels, and then you tried to say, well, what about Dante's Boxing? You're familiar with him. And I said, well, I did a video criticizing Dante's Boxing. And then you moved the goalpost again. Well, not him. Not him. And I gave you some more names. Oh, but those, it's easy to call those guys out. I brought up Boxing Wizard when he did a video saying Mexican fans are the most racist fans, right? Oh, Mexican fans are the most racist fans. I did a video response to him about that. I called him out on that, right? And then you said, oh, you know what? But those are easy, though. Like, it's just like, well, what does that even mean? So do I never call out black channels? Do I or do I not? Do I or do I not criticize black fighters? The answer to both is yes. Okay? Yes and yes. The answer is yes to both. But you're not content with that. You got to keep moving the goalpost. You refuse to give me a name that I'm directly affiliated with. Right? That is blatantly racist. And then you went on talking about Sean Yun and then you try to do this whole thing where like, and I agree about Sean Yun. He does go too far. And I was against Precise. I don't give a fuck. Like, ooh, wow, you were against Precise. And? So what? Don't go halfway with it, bro. If you're gonna go with it, go all the way, all right? So you move the goalpost twice with that one, and then you brought up the LDBC. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't follow or subscribe to every LDBC channel, right? So I asked you, can you tell me like what's going on? Like, what was said? And was I in the comment co-signing? What was going on? Like, you couldn't name anything. You couldn't bring anything up. Then I started giving you some names of dudes that are in the LDBC, right? That I am cool with. So I made it easy for you. Oh, well, he's not racist. I don't think he's racist. But, I mean, he is cool with someone who said something that is racist a couple months ago in his channel. Like, it's just like, well, really? We're going to play this guilty by association game now? Is that what we're going to do? Because in that case, then you're guilty of the comment section you got then. Whatever Zapata Boxing says, you're guilty as that because you associate with yourself with them. Right? You associate yourself with them. And I will do comparison by comparison if you want. And there's another thing you said, and then you quickly skipped over it, right? Now you read over it, but then you noticed that it was you try to accuse me of trying to change the subject and not understanding what we were talking about, right? So you say, this is what you said. DStyle, but you're cool with them, and little do you know, when you're not around, they're talking shit about you and your family and about how all you are racist, right? That's what you say. And I say, now, first of all, you don't know what a lot of these guys are saying. How do you know what they're saying when we're not around? How do you know? Right? But I will say this, and this is what I said in the comment. I basically put, all right, Aztec, well, it can't be any different to what people say about blacks when they're not around. Right? That's what I said. You read it, and then you accused me of not getting the point and not understanding the point, yada, yada, yada. Right? No, I was making a very valid point. And we're going to judge any group of people for what they supposedly say when nobody's around, right? Then we got to judge everybody by that standard. By that standard, then everybody should be with their own group because, fuck, you never know what they're saying when you're not around. What somebody says behind my back is a reflection on them. That's a reflection on them, not on me. That makes them a coward, not me. You sound very insecure here, and it's kind of funny. And then finally, I just said it, bro. You just come off as a whiner, right? Like you're a fucking whiner, bro. Nobody, like you said something interesting. You know, when you said that I must be someone that gets told a lot to shut up and shit like that. And you said, yeah, you're probably that person that when two people are in a deep conversation, you know, you jump in and you say something stupid and okay, like that's no, Aztec, no. But anyway, Aztec, this is not a topic that people bring up at the bar, bro. Okay, this is not it just isn't. You know, it's it's just not. All right, it's you come off as a whiner, right? Like that's how you come off, right? Now, whether you are or you're not, I ain't gonna say, but that's how you come off. You come off as a whiny little bitch. That's how you come off, right? That is a vibe I get. You come off as some feminine, whiny little bitch. That's how you come off. That's how you come. That's honestly how you come off. Like you try to, you try to say that you're gonna put hands on people and, okay, all right, fine, okay, right. I mean, yeah, fine, right. I mean, by the way, the way you got angry at 10 players because he brought up your family, that was weak. Like you basically said something similar. You brought up my family, Aztec. Now I'm not gonna do what you did. I'm not gonna wish cancer on your mother, right? That's not something I'm gonna do, right? But you did the same thing, Aztec. According to you, everyone in the LDBC talks behind my back and says that DStyle and his family are a bunch of racists. That's what you said. You brought up my family, Aztec. By your logic, that is a line that you don't cross, right? So either you agree with that, or you need to apologize to 10 players because of that, or you just admit you're a hypocrite. Because no, I knew what you meant. I knew you weren't attacking my family, but I'm just saying you used it in the same context that they used it in, which shows me it's just a bunch of fucking whiny fake outrage from you. It's just whiny, bro. It's fucking whine. You're such a whiner. And when you read something or hear something you disagree with, your reaction, you just come off as a fucking whiner. Like, like, god damn, bro. Like, you're damn right. That's not what I want people to think Mexicans act like. You're damn right. The hell? You come off as a maricon, bro. That's how you come off. I'm just being serious, right? How could most people not see that and say, God damn, this dude's a fucking little whiny little bitch? That's how you come off. I mean, holy shit, dude. And then you're all like, I still don't understand what you don't get about the whole telling somebody to like to not throw away their clothes and all that. I don't know what you don't get, bro. Look, I don't know Tal business. I don't, right? I'm not subscribed to him. I don't listen to his channel, right? I'm not here nor there. I honestly don't listen to his channel, right? Now, I was listening to, while I was running some errands, I was listening to your video with, they were doing to outside the ropes, right? And you said that Town Biz is a racist because he said that he wants to put up a wall and he's glad that Donald Trump is going to deport a bunch of Mexicans because he's tired of Mexicans always being racist against black people, right? Look, at best, Aztec, he feels the same way you do about blacks. At best, Aztec, he feels the same way a lot of the people in your comment section feel about blacks, Aztec. If I was a black dude and you're the only example I had of a Mexican in your comment section, I'd probably feel the same fucking way. There's a thing called leading by example. Learn that, right? I lead by example. I'm against racism, so I don't go around lecturing everybody not to be a racist while I'm being a racist and and all that myself. No, I don't act like a fucking racist. I don't do racist shit. When I get racist comments, I try to report them or delete them. Now, I may miss some here and there, but I do know that there's not a bunch of usual suspects on my comment section. Stop acting dumbfounded. Like, well, what do I have to do with my comment section? Like, you only have like 4 dudes that comment in the comment section, bro. Like over and over again. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? So anyway, let's just make this simple, right? Because you're making it seem as if like I don't leave you alone. Like that's how you were coming off. Like DStyle, I don't get it. DStyle, grow up. DStyle, grow up. DStyle, I'm gonna end my. That's what he did, and then he ended the video. Like get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm gonna end the video. Like just get the fuck out of here. Right? Go on. So maybe you should smoke a blunt before you do the video. Maybe you be a little more chill, bro. Right? Relax, chill. I mean, holy shit. For somebody that smokes weed, I mean, you got a temper problem, bro. I mean, goddamn. If I'm that bad and this, like, then don't listen to my channel. Then don't listen to me. All right? No one is forcing you. Right? And back to it, my whole point is, this is my whole point. The LDBC is not going to dictate whether or not a Mexican American is going to make it, to the top, right? You're lecturing everybody about supporting Mexican. You're like trying to rally people up, right? Support Mexican American fighters. Come on. Then don't get on other people's cases for supporting their own too, right? It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. The thing is that there's things, because you want to say more, it's like you're giving the wink and the nod, and you want me to just acknowledge it? Nah, bro, like it's just, you got to let it go. Let it go. Right? You know the rematch when right before Apollo, when Duke is talking to Apollo, and he tells him, like this, it ain't working out, man. You don't want to fight this dude again. Let it go. Let it go. Right? I'm not telling you what to do. Do whatever the hell you want to do, right? But Aztec, the more lies you spread about me, the more I'm going to tell the truth about you, right? Did you hear me? The more lies you spread about me, the more of the truth I'm going to tell about you. Stop being a little whiny little bitch, right? And by the way, bro, your phone didn't die. It didn't die. I saw your little scrawny little shoulder, bro. You ain't putting hands on anybody. If I was you, I wouldn't be talking that tough. All right? I'm just saying. Let's see here. Mejor ser un toquen que un malinche. Yeah, he is a fucking malinche. Yeah, he fucking is. But there's some people in the chat right now that were there when I fucking blocked you, dude. Right? None of them. Some of them are Mexican, bro. None of them protest. Oh, bro! Well, why'd you take off Aztec from your chat, bro? The fuck? We just moved on. Joe. You just want to talk about you. You know, let me explain this to you guys and why a lot of this happens. Okay, since we want to get deep into it, let's get a little bit deep into it. Okay, you really have to go back hundreds of years ago. Okay, hundreds of years ago, the Spanish showed up. Okay, first to some islands and all that, but later Cortez, skipping all the Columbus shit, Cortez made his way. He kept hearing about the city of Tenochtitlan. Okay, where there was this triple alliance, these three major tribes, which many just call the quote-unquote Aztecs, right? Anyway, long story short, due to measles and chicken pox and shit like that, okay, the Aztec army was, you know, basically torn to pieces, okay? That and a bunch of fucking tribes that had issues with the Aztecs as well, okay, that were helping Cortez, right? Moving along, when the Aztecs took over, right, they started to use a lot of the natives as slaves, and they were also bringing slaves from Africa, okay, or from the slave trade, I should say, right? What the Spanish did was a thing called a caste system, right? And in this caste system, if you were born from Europe or Spain, I should say, okay, then you were 100% pure-blooded Spaniard. You were on top, okay, of the food chain according to this caste system. And then if you were full-blooded Spaniard but born in the Americas, then you weren't quite as good. But you were right below the ones born in Spain. And if you were the son or daughter of some Spanish soldier or conquistador or general or whatever, right? And, you know, because they raped their mother, or in some cases even married them, right? You were called a mestizo, right? You were third class. That's the majority of Mexico right now, right? And then you had, of course, the very bottom of the barrel. Well, actually, before I say that, and then you had also the mix of, right, the slave and the Spaniard, right, mulatto, which was there too, right below the mestizo, actually. And then, so you see where I'm going with this. And then below them, you have the natives and the slaves. In their own land, the natives, by the way, and the slaves that were brought here against their own will. Until this day, that scar of colonialism has been stuck in the heads of a bunch of these stupid Mexican Americans, right? And I'm mainly, you know, trying to get to them, and they don't even see it. They don't even recognize it. You need to acknowledge it. That's why Aztec is so keen on telling black people what to do, right? You gotta let it go, bro. You gotta let it go. Just because you want to talk about tokens, you going after Precise was kind of a little token, right? That's what that was. And that explains, okay? Don't be naive, bro. Don't be naive. There is racist Mexicans. There is. Hell, there's Mexicans that hate on other Mexicans because they think they're higher class than that Mexican. Fragments of that caste system still exist today. You can see it in telenovelas. So all the rich people are white, okay, and all the maids are brown. Till this day, it's a thing, right? Till this day, it's a thing. So at the end of the day, that's something that has to be acknowledged, and it makes people uncomfortable, right? But it's okay if you acknowledge it and we could just move on, right? Let it go. Let it go, right? Let it go. Now, for the record, I'm not accusing anyone directly of being anything, right? But what I am going to say is that this obsession, you need to let it go. And all I'm going to ask is that you don't watch my channel anymore. You're not welcome in my channel. That's why you're blocked, right? You're not welcome in my channel. Your input is not welcome. I don't want your input, right? So let it go. If you're looking for this dialogue isn't going to happen. I don't do dialogue with people that disrespect me. It doesn't work that way. That's why you're blocked. And you yourself said my channel's trash. Nobody comments in my channel, right? It's the channel. You only talk about stupid shit. You talk about the same shit over and over again, right? So don't watch my channel. Don't watch it. Do your own thing. I'll say it one more time. I left you alone. I was not bothering you at all. And then you decided to do a video titled Questions for DStyle. Getting involved in something that had nothing to do with you. Nothing. The thing with me, Librarian, just like with Librarian and Doc and Librarian Dan the Man and Librarian and a bunch of other people, it's between us and him. It's between me and Librarian. You have nothing to do with that. I know you really want to get involved, but you have nothing to do with it. Nothing. You want to tell me that I get involved? You need to stop. Don't worry about it, right? Hell, he's gonna do comments agreeing with you and attacking me and co-signing you. Just thumbs up his comments in your channel. But don't watch my channel. If it gets you so much that it makes you go, ugh, like it makes you do that, then don't watch it. All right? Anyway, with that said, that's exactly what it is. Gorgoruga! What's up, bro? Just a quick change of subject, bro. I do promise, guys, I'm not going to address this anymore, and we'll get back to boxing talk, but I'll address since you listen, I'll go ahead and address this. Daniel White just called out Wilder to fight in UK February 3rd. You think he should take the fight, and who wins? Wilder wins. He stretches his ass, and I'm not against that fight at all. If everyone's okay with it, because I don't want to hear that. I just don't want Dillian White to turn into a bum overnight. Okay, once Wilder knocks him out. That's all I'm saying, right? But Gorgoruga, why are you asking me about two black fighters? Why aren't you asking me about two? Come on, bro. You're asking me about two black fighters. They get all the attention. Well, why don't you ask me about two Mexican American fighters? Like everybody's always like not giving the Mexican American any attention, bro. You got Ruiz out there. And you got Chris Arreola, bro. Why don't you ask me about them, bro? It doesn't make sense. I feel like like nobody's paying attention to me, and then I'm a little whiny little bitch, and and then and these styles like Joe Host, what's up? AJ 10. I wasn't reading at the time, but I was keeping an eye on it. They appear to teach history in high school these days. Yeah, man, history is terrible. It's terrible, bro. I learned a lot of this in college. It wasn't in high school. So the rich people are blonde and lighter complexion, office jobs. Yes, they are. The maids are darker skinned Mexicans. Yes, they are. In the novelas. Good observation. All right. Red Glove Militant. As long as they keep all women half dressed, that's all I care about. Hell, I don't even speak Spanish, and just bring a rich, light skinned or poor, dark skinned women. Red Glove Militant just wants to see half naked women, bro. Right? HA10 novelas do have fine women of all complexion. Yeah, they do. Man in Water doesn't like novellas? What's up, bro? Damn. Zone 6, what's up? Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about this, guys. There's really nothing else to add. There honestly isn't. And I honestly believe that it's good for everybody if I don't address this guy anymore. I mean, it's done, right? There's no reason anymore. Although, I mean, I would like to like really go in on him, but I'm not. Okay, it's sometimes you gotta let it go. I gotta take my own advice. Gotta let it go and just move on. All right. Red Glove Militant, you watch novelas for entertainment. What are you, gay? Nah, bro. Novelas are. Well, you gotta know. If you know Spanish, bro, novelas will get you like. They're like addicting, bro. I'm just telling you. I don't know. It's like how can I say it? Like in el siguiente capítulo, like it's one of those like damn, and it's funny because they'll make it seem like the most craziest shit's about to happen, and then the episode ends, and then you tune in the next day, and it's like so lame, like nothing really happens. It's like something so lame, and then they get you again, and then you watch the next day, and it's so lame, and then it's like fuck, and you keep telling yourself I need to stop watching it. Nothing ever happens, but then they keep getting you over and over and over. But hey, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, it's getting late. I actually got to do some other stuff around here, but before I go to bed. But yeah, it's pretty late here. Man in the Water says it's the same story every time. Two people in love, and the bad guy or girl is trying to keep them apart. Then they live happily ever after, or they die. So don't sometimes they have one of them die, and then the guy that was friend zoned like gets her at the end or something like that. Isn't there one like that? Like, there's this one where this chick was like in love with three dudes. She friend zoned one of them. One of them was like an asshole. The other one was like the good guy, right? The good guy and the asshole die in the end. And then while she's like at the grave or something, the one she friend zoned is like consoling her at the end, and then he ends up with her, So like all types of guys win, or the anyway, that's like the only scenario where the dude that's friend zoned wins. Red Glove Miller. So they tease you with lame stories and bad bitches. I can respect the hustle. Yeah, bro, it is a little bit. It is a hustle. Um, I know it's just one of those things. Once in a while, like something good will happen, but you got to watch the good novellas. You know, like there's just one novella that I recommend, especially if you like Narcos and stuff like that. I personally don't like Narcos. It's Narcos is very inaccurate. Okay, it's very inaccurate. But so I personally don't like it. But if you do, that's fine. But the Pablo Escobar, El Patrón del Mal. Okay, it's a novella from Colombia. That's a damn good series. Like it's damn good. Especially when they get to the part where this is gonna sound sick as shit, but especially when it gets to the part where like he's assassinating the generals and bombing buildings, and it's this dude was like a real terrorist, man. It's just crazy, and then they attach you to all these characters, and then they kill them. They have Pablo Escobar, like kill them. It's fucking insane. It really is. Like, you know, like this is one general that he killed that like, you got to know the family and the wife and how good of a husband and all that he was and how much he loved the country of Colombia. And, you know, and you're thinking like, man, this is such a good guy, man. And then out of nowhere, like one of the gunmen in the motorcycle just shoots him, just kills him, you know, while his wife is sitting next to him. It's like bleeding all over the place. She's like, no puede ser. Like that. She's, you know, she starts crying, you know, and it's so dramatic, but I guess that is what you would do. They would fucking gun down your husband in front of you. But yeah, it's good stuff. That's some good shit, right? I don't even consider novella because like based on a true story, I guess. But I guess it is. I don't know. But it's fucking awesome. Also, you can tell the writers are older men. Yeah. Regular, they get that ad revenue. Age of 10, there's always an older man, 50 plus, with a hot chick in her 20s. Oh, that's like every novella. Every novella. There's also like that. Like the villain is always like over the top villain. You know, like they have an eye patch, or they have like the villain mustache, or they wear all black, you know, or like just it's like over the top, man. It's just like, okay, I get it, you're a villain, dude. Like, all right, you know, and even the way they talk, it's just, you know, they always have like that deep villainous voice. You know, they're just missing the laugh, man. Right? Ah, no puedo creer. Yo voy a encontrarla. Voy a hacer que me ame a mí, no a él. Like it's just like this is crazy, man. Te voy a encerrar aquí hasta que me quieras a mí. Te vas a olvidar de él. And then she's like, no, yo nunca me voy a olvidar de él. Sí, un día sí. Like it's just stupid. Y si nunca me quieres a mí, nunca él te traerá a ti. Like it's just like, what the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, AJ10, that's true. AJ10, no vas a casar con él. No vas a casarte con él. Tú serás mía. Tú serías la mamá de mis hijos. Anyway. Regular Milton, I should learn Spanish by the time I'm 50 so I can cast it in a novella. Yeah, there you go. You could be a villain or something. I did the little wannabe female voice there. I don't know. Novellas are great, man. They're like over the top. I'll admit they are over the top, but that's like the point. You know, that's the whole point. I like the dramas too. Because there's different types of novellas. I don't like the comedy novellas. They're kind of lame. But the dramas, so those are good. Did anybody ever watch Dos Mujeres Un Camino? Novelas, women justify cheating. Oh, do they? Yeah. Yo lo quise mucho a él. Era por el amor. Era por el amor. As long as I get half naked women in my arm and they can pay me with tamales and menudo, and then you die of diabetes by the end of season 1, bro. Anyway, I guess you'll die a happy man, but hopefully you don't eat tamales and menudo every day, right? That's not just a novela, that's real life. Yeah, yeah. No, but the novela's over the top, though. It's like over the top justification, you know? Just over the top. Anyways, guys, I don't know how we ended up talking about novelas and like all this shit, but Dos mujeres un camino. Yeah, I remember that shit. Early 90s, yeah. You know, I thought that was like the best novella ever. I had a crush on that young girl. Oh, I thought she was the hottest thing ever. And but I went back, man. Sometimes like when it comes to older shows and older movies, it's like better to not revisit the movies, right? It's better to just let it be. All right. Like just let it be. Because I went back and I watched like the finale of Dos Mujeres Un Camino. I remember when I was a kid, it was like so dramatic and it was so sad and stuff like that. And now it's like so lame. Like it looks so fake and like it's just like damn, I like ruined it. You know, I should have just let nostalgia be nostalgia. That's what I should have done. Let's see. You can't go back to older shows and movies sometimes, man. You start to nitpick. Yeah. And then not only that, I guess we have slowly adjusted to better and better and better graphics, right? So when you go back 20 years, you start to realize, man, these graphics aren't that good, you know? Like not like you remember, you know, not like you remember. But yeah. Ruby was the hottest, says Man in Water. Red Glove Militant, good night, Styles. Always interesting chatting in here, even though it's only my second one. Peace out, bro. All right, guys, I'm going to actually wrap this up, all right? Now we're talking about novelas and all this other shit. I'm singing Dos Mujeres Su Camino, and it's kind of crazy. Outside the Road, try to go back and watch Beast Wars, and it was terrible. Right? She should have just let it be. I tried to go back and watch American Ninja. I was so disappointed. I went back and watched Bloodsport, and it wasn't that bad, but like, oh man, it is so unrealistic. Like the fight scenes, and it never struck me that way when I was a kid. You know, it never struck me that way. Kickboxer is still a good movie though. I rewatched Kickboxer a couple weeks ago. Good movie. It actually still is a good movie. A little lame. The acting kind of sucks a little bit, but nobody really, you know, it is what it is. Gorguga, it's true, bro. Remember watching some horror movies, which were scary as hell as a kid, but almost like comedy now. Yeah, yeah. Like Freddy Krueger Part 1, where it's so lame. Like they come out of the dream and he's like chasing her around chasing her around the house. Like it's like I don't know. It's just kind of lame. Power Rangers, Man in Water. Looks lame now, huh? Bloodsport doesn't age well. No. Even though GSP, you know, he talks, you know how they say he looks at Van Damme? He did do the Van Damme from Bloodsport, though, because he had blood in his eyes and he couldn't see, you know? So he had to do the Van Damme, and he caught Bisping with a good right hand, right? By the way, man, I got so involved with this stupid ASIC bullshit. I forgot to talk about the UFC fights, but I'll do that video tomorrow. That's all I got. That's all I got, guys. Let me see. I'll read this one comment here. I tell you, What stood the test of time because the stories were so good is the original Incredible Hulk series in the 70s. Great writers on that. I remember that, like when he would like run through the walls and stuff like that. But I haven't seen it, man. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, anyway. Although the Hulk did look like someone just threw a tin of green paint on him. Anyway, that's it, guys. For reals this time. I'm out.